Is your house too small for a homeschool room? Or maybe you've wondered how people homeschool without a homeschool room. Or maybe you just don't want to set them up. Well, in this video, I want to talk about how we homeschool without a homeschool room and what we do instead. This video is part of a collaboration hosted by Davine at Calm in the Chaos Homeschool and Shauna at Homegrown Homeschool. You should definitely check out both their channels. I'll link those in the description of this video. And I'll also include the playlist in the description of this video so that when you're done watching this one, you can check out everybody else's homeschool rooms and spaces as well. Hi, my name is Sarah, and I am a homeschool mom of 2 kiddos. Next year, I'll have a preschooler and a second grader, and I'm also a former teacher. And on my channel, I share lots of tips, mostly about helping kids learn how to read. So in this video, I want to start by talking about my family's decision not to have a homeschool room. And we actually have never had a homeschool room in all of the years that we have homeschooled. We are going to be the closest to having a homeschool room this year, and I'll talk more about that in this video. But first, I wanted to share some reasons why we don't have one. And the biggest reason is that for me, I want to teach my kids that learning is something that can happen anywhere. I don't want them to think that learning only happens when we're in the schoolroom, because I think that that's something that I believed as a public school teacher and something that I really don't believe now. Now that I have left the public schools and started homeschooling my kids, I love the fact that we can learn anywhere and that we do learn everywhere. And I want my kids to understand that really deeply. And so I love the fact that we homeschool all around our house. I also want my kids to be able to go where it's comfortable. I want them to be able to sit on the couch or lay on their bed in their room or homeschool wherever they would like to. And so I love to be able to give them choice over where it is that we work. I also love that homeschool is a part of our daily life. We homeschool while we're doing other things, and I'm going to talk more about that. But that's one of the reasons why we don't have a homeschool room, is so that we can incorporate our homeschool into our family's daily life. And then finally, frankly, our house is too small to dedicate a room to homeschooling. And so this is what we do instead. So you're probably wondering, because we don't have a homeschool room, where do we homeschool? And there are 3 main places where homeschool happens in our house. The first one is at the dining room table, and this is my favorite place to homeschool. Every morning while my kids are eating breakfast, I read to them, and I read several subjects that we do out loud together. So we always have a history book that we're reading, and we always have a science lesson that we read together, and I do those during breakfast. We also do our Bible study together during breakfast as a family, and I read that to my kids. And then finally, I do a read aloud book with my kids during breakfast, and we'll read just a chapter or 2 at a time. So all of those activities happen at the dining room table while my kids are eating. During our homeschool day, a lot of our activities happen at the couch. My kids will sit on the couch and we'll read together, or they will look at a book for an activity or an assignment. And so we do a lot of our homeschooling there. When my kids have a writing assignment, sometimes they work at a small table in my office, or sometimes they work at the dining room table. It just kind of depends. I am looking for a desk for my son, who has kind of outgrown the preschool table and needs a bigger table. So we'll probably get one before the school year starts. So this is where I store my kids' curriculum, and these shelves are in my office. And this side here is all of the curriculum that we're not using this year. Some of these are things that we've used for my son and that I'm saving for my daughter. Most of this I got from either used curriculum sales or things that I have reviewed on the channel or on my blog. And then down here, I have all of my son and daughter's reading books that they don't have in their room right now. And then over here, this is all of our manipulatives and math materials and just other things that we use for our homeschool that aren't books. These are super disorganized right now because a lot of them we used last school year and I just put back up here. So this is where we store the curriculum that we're using this year. And this is a rolling drawer cart that I got from, I think, Michael's. It has some smaller drawers at the top and bigger drawers at the bottom. And on the top here is where I store our school supplies, pencils, and crayons. The truck is a math manipulative that we like to use. And then the drawers here are where we keep different subjects. I've labeled them with my label maker. So this is our read aloud drawer, and inside the drawer is everything that we need for our read aloud, which in this case is just the book that we're reading. And then the other drawers have the other subjects that we're using. In our Bible drawer, we've got our book that we're using for our Bible study. So everything that we need for that subject goes in the drawer. And that's how I keep everything organized. The bigger bottom drawers down here are for my daughter's preschool curriculum. And then we have a drawer at the very bottom here. That's where we keep her supplies and things. And then we also have some drawers at the very bottom for our school supplies as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this little sneak peek behind the scenes in our homeschool. I'm going to be sharing new videos every day this week about how we're getting ready for our homeschool year. Tomorrow's is all about my school supply haul and all of the supplies that I'm stocking up on for the school year. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that you get notified whenever those new videos get released.